Hey guys, it's Rissa. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I posted a video. Work has been pretty crazy. We had election day and in general it's been pretty crazy even on the weekends. So I just told myself I have to sit down today and film a video. And it's also a topic that I'm very excited about because I've been talking about it for a while now, and it is great blushes that look boring in the pan. And when I say boring in the pan, it's kind of an exaggeration because they're not really that boring. It's just that they kind of look like they're not going to be much on the skin, but they're pretty surprising. And this is also for my skin tone. Just for me personally, these are the ones that I like, but my hope is that this could inspire some people to maybe reach into their collection and see what just doesn't really excite them in the pan, but you'd be surprised sometimes that those are the ones that you're going to end up reaching for the most. So I'm going to start off with a couple of my favorites from the drugstore, and the first one here is by Wet n Wild, and this is the ColorIcon blush in Apri-Cot in the middle. So this one actually does look really pretty to me in the pan because I like this type of apricot, peachy, golden kind of color. But to some people it does kind of look like it'd be really similar to your skin tone, and it's like, what is that really gonna do? I am gonna swatch all of these for you guys, but keep in mind that because of the title of this video, the swatches aren't gonna be that great. They're gonna look pretty similar to my skin. It's not gonna be super pigmented, but just on the skin, they just look so nice, and you really wouldn't understand until you just try some of these. What are some of the colors that you see at Ulta and Sephora that don't scream pink or coral or plum at you, and maybe they're just a little bit more muted and dusty and very similar to your skin tone? Give one of those a try because those are the ones that I really enjoy. So this one right here is just a little bit deeper and warmer than me. So this is the blush that I'm currently wearing, and it does have some micro shimmer throughout, but it doesn't really translate on the skin. It's a very smooth texture. They describe this as a blendable transparent sheen. It has a radiant pop of maximum color is how they describe it. They say that it's lightweight, long wearing, and I do agree with all of those claims. I really like the Wet n Wild ColorIcon blushes. So give this one a try if you like this type of color. So this next one does look pretty boring in the pan to me, and this is a Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Plum Rose. And it doesn't look like much. It's not detectable. It's not gonna look like you're wearing blush, but I really like these dusty, muted plum shades because it just helps sculpt the face without going in with a bronzer, without going in with an actual contour color. So if you're interested in something like that, like, ooh, sculpting the face sounds nice, I don't really like having a lot of color on my cheeks, look for a color like this. It's muted, it's cool tone, and very similar to your skin color because again, it's not going to swatch very well on the skin, on the back of the hand, but I love it on the skin. I really enjoy this line from Physicians Formula, the butter blushes and the bronzers. They say that it's infused with a powerful blend of Muru butter, so it has an ultra creamy texture. And if you compare it to some of the other ones in this line, like I'll show you here, this one is, oh shoot, I just dipped my finger into this or got my nail in there. This is Vintage Rouge. This one's also kind of boring in the pan actually. And Rosy Pink. So you got these here. See if I can hold these up. So here are the three that I own, and when you compare them all side by side, to me this one looks the most boring in the pan, but it's my favorite. It looks really dull, it doesn't look like much. And this one is like you can't really tell what it is. Is it dusty plum? Is it beige? You can't really tell compared to these two, but it's my favorite. So look for a shade like this if you're interested in just kind of sculpting your cheeks a little bit more and you want something very understated. And these of course smell amazing, even in the fall or the winter. I love it. I think you could use it year round. This one right here is a high-end blush, and it's also cool toned. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Mood Exposure. Some of you were telling me that I have to get this again. It's been a while since I've owned this, and I've fallen back in love with it. So the way that this is designed, it looks really pretty, so it's not really boring. But when you compare the shade to some of the others, you're just kind of like, I don't really care for that, but those are the ones that I love. So they describe this one as a soft Plum, and it's mixed with their brightening complexion of Mood Light, which is their ambient lighting powder. Like for example, I'm wearing more of a warm shade today, so if anything, it just kind of warms up the face, but it doesn't sculpt the face. If you get something like this will help me sculpt my face a little bit more. So this area right here just looks like it's a little bit more contoured than what it is today. So that's kind of what I mean by sculpting the face with a blush. And just a heads up, my favorite type of blush brush is this kind right here, which is an angled brush, and it just kind of helps sculpt this area. So that's what I mean by that. I really love the Hourglass ambient lighting powders. So of course I'm gonna love the blush. And when you get it in a cool tone shade, it's my favorite kind. It's very muted, it's very soft, it doesn't swatch that well, it's my favorite kind. If you're in the market for a high-end blush, I think it's worth the money because it is a good blush. Do you need to have an Hourglass blush? Absolutely not. You can definitely go out and get a great one for a cheaper price. But if you are interested, it is a really good one. This next one is an oldie but a goodie. This is Benefit Dallas. And this one really just does not look like much. This is considered a rosy bronze. At least that's how the Sephora website describes it. It really doesn't look like much, but oh my gosh, do I love this one. This one does have a scent. It's really perfumey if you are not used to these box blushes by Benefit. But this one in particular I love because again, it's very dusty, it's very muted, and it's very similar to my skin tone, and I like having it in a very similar way of sculpting out the cheeks. I really don't know if it's gonna do much here, but let me just add it to the Wet n Wild blush that I have. So I don't know how much that did, if it ruined anything, but yeah, I really like this blush. They do say it's a radiant finish because if you look closely, there is some shimmer in there, but I don't think you can really tell on the face. They also claim that it's very sheer, so that's another thing. It says it's sheer, it's a wash of color for pretty much any skin tone. So that's the thing. I like blushes that are pretty sheer, that's why they don't swatch that well, but I just like blushes that don't look like much because I don't like makeup that is really obvious. I don't like to have a lot of rosy pink, hot pink or coral blush on the cheeks. I'd rather it be very subtle, like it's part of the structure of my face or just naturally making my skin a little bit more bronze. Whatever it may be, I like to keep it pretty subtle. Another great line of blushes is Tarte, and this one right here is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Exposed. It's considered, what does it say on here? It's a nude pink. To me, this looks very cool tone. It's almost like a mauve. They have quite a few shades, so you can go a little bit deeper, but same idea, you know, go for the dusty or plums. To me, this is like if Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk lipstick turned into a blush. You know, it's not the same exact color, but it's that same concept where it's like, it just adds a little something to your lips, but it's not much. You can't really tell what it is. And then same with this blush. They claim that this is a long-wearing product. It's super soft, silky, and true color mineral pigment. I do agree that this is pretty long-wearing. 12-hour claim is kind of odd for a blush. And that's another thing about these blushes. They do appear sheer and it doesn't look like much, but they are all pretty long-wearing. They stay on my face through the end of the day, and it's not like I have to keep reapplying. So you know, there's a difference. When you get a blush that just kind of sucks and you have to like really build to get some color, that's not great. That's not really what these are. Even though these are pretty muted, you can go in with your brush. At least for me, I notice it on my face after the first attempt. So if you want to find a muted, dusty color like this that's very similar to your skin tone, it doesn't mean that you can't detect it on your face as you're applying it. You know, it's not like, oh, I have to keep reapplying it, I can't see it. No, these are really pigmented for what they are, and that is why I wanted to talk about these. So just because they're pretty boring in the pan, they don't swatch that well, they still apply well. You know, with the first attempt with your brush, you can really see the pigment already, and then you can build it up, but it doesn't require building up, and that is why I love these. So this last one is for those of you who are looking for something a little bit deeper. I know it's not too deep, but it is a little bit deeper, and this is the, I should show you the front. This is the BareMinerals Gen Nude Blush in Let's Go Nude. And this one is described as a warm, rosy nude. So it definitely does look pretty warm, and I will compare it with the Apri-Cot in the middle here from Wet n Wild just to show you guys. So this one's still pretty deep compared to this, so you can see how much deeper it is. But this one really is pretty much a matte blush, and they say that it instantly warms your complexion, defines cheekbones, brightens your face. Well, this is the whole line, not just specifically this color. And they say that it's highly blendable, natural looking color, and that is what they're all about with the BareMinerals Gen Nude line. So this one, the effect that I get is very similar to this right here, the Apri-Cot in the middle, although I did add Benefit Dallas to this, but it's just gonna be a little bit richer, a little bit deeper. So again, like if you just look at it, it's like, yeah, okay, great. But it really does add some depth and really livens the face. So if this isn't a color that really speaks to you, it may be worth trying some of the other Gen Nude blushes because I am really liking this one. I do think it blends really well. They do also claim with this that it has a blurring mineral complex that's supposed to give you like a soft focus effect. I don't really know about that. I mean, I do like the way my skin looks when I use this, but I don't necessarily know that it gives you a blurring effect. But just so you guys know, they do claim that. So those are it, guys. Those are my favorite blushes that look pretty boring in the pan, and again, boring is kind of an exaggeration, but those that just kind of look muted and doesn't look like much in the pan are the ones that I end up enjoying the most when I apply them to my skin. Let me know if you have your own favorite blushes that are kind of in that category where it just looks really muted in the pan but great on your skin, the ones that you end up really reaching for. Or just let me know, do you prefer this kind of blush, or even though you got to the end of this video, maybe you actually do prefer the brighter corals and pinks out there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for requesting this video. Let me know if you have any other requests in a comment below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.